Gorgeous out there today. Temperatures holding in the 60s and 70s and all coming ahead of that rain for tomorrow. So my name is Elisa Raffa, and I'm a meteorologist and climate journalist at Queen City News Fox Charlotte. Yes, I was coming to check on you.
You're gonna come out. Yeah, so you basically just turn it.
Right.
See it
Yep.
down there.
Makeup. I was an atmospheric science major, so I learned the quasi-geostrophic equation. Nobody taught me about eyeshadow primer. You learn how to start doing this routine pretty quick. Shoes. So glamorous, they said. We've got like 2 minutes.
Let's go ahead and bring in meteorologist Elisa Raffa.
We had our first string of 90-degree temperatures last week. They say every meteorologist has their storm that got them interested, and for me it was Hurricane Katrina. I was just amazed at the breadth of the storm and just how big it was. I just remembered thinking, there's gotta be a way I can use my science to help these people. So I'm born and raised in New York City, grew up in Brooklyn and Staten Island. Science was always huge at home. I always loved science and math. And then I wound up at Cornell, so I was doing all the nitty-gritty physics and calculus. So to prepare me for the communication side of things, I was the CNN weather intern, and I got my first job in TV in Sioux City, Iowa. As a New Yorker, it was a cultural difference for me for sure. I learned so much about agriculture that I never would have learned in the concrete jungle. And I think it made me better prepared to talk about climate because I learned so much science from these farmers.
Springfield is in the middle of all that red.
Springfield, Missouri is where I got my second job. And I went to my news director and I said, I want to cover climate change. And he didn't bat an eye. He told me, absolutely go for it.
Springfield has not had a single day with more than 2.5 inches of snow since 2015.
I really enjoy using the Climate Matters resources to do these kind of in-depth stories.
Remember these days?
One of the Climate Central reports actually showed that Springfield was top 5 for snow declines. We haven't needed one of these bad boys in quite a while. So I went to a local hardware store, asked him about when was the last time you had people busting doors for snow shovels, and he was like, it's been a while.
We all hate to say climate change, but we know it's there.
People recognized these changes themselves, and because I had these local faces, it was more relatable to them and they could care about it more.
But it's a lonely shovel.
The oceans are getting warmer, right? So I have a passion for communication and for science, so why not use both of those powers together for this bigger cause? But it has helped me a lot in my career.
When I came here, one of the things that I saw as an opportunity was for some station in town to own climate science. So she was one of the first people I hired.
As our climate warms, our summers are getting longer.
And I find it remarkable that in this town, in the 1.5 years that she's been doing this, I've never gotten a complaint. Not a single complaint.
We're warming at all levels here in Queen City.
I mean, she puts together really interesting presentations that have a lot to do with what people are observing in their everyday lives.
Then the next storm threat will be late Thursday into Friday. So research has shown that most meteorologists on TV are some of the only scientists that a lot of American people know,
The goal is to be carbon-free by 2030.
So to me, it's just ingrained in my job to talk about climate as the trusted science source on air. I want people to get the information from me because I can break it down. Most Americans only drive 50 miles in a day. And I love teaching people about it, even if it's my coworkers, because these news anchors are also talking about these concepts on air. So I think it's helpful for them to also kind of understand how some of this works. We all should be educated about this on air when we're talking about it.
Making us all a little bit smarter.
We are under the sea. We're at the Unseen Oceans exhibit here at Discovery Place Science. So I have this role on TV as a broadcast meteorologist, but I love getting into the community on my spare time to continue what I'm doing on air in a different way with the science education. It's a green card. You're a healthy manatee. To engage with the kids who are so excited to be our future engineers and our future scientists. The heat gets trapped. I tell these stories for the education standpoint, right? We can't make decisions if we don't understand that it's a problem. That you have a choice in when you're voting, who to vote for, who cares about these issues. And so I hope to keep doing it I would love to stay until I don't have to anymore. We lead, the Carolinas lead when it comes to solar power.
I would challenge everybody to embrace science. Don't be afraid of facts, and don't go down rabbit holes. Look at broad mainstream science, and I think you will recognize that there's a lot of interesting work being done and a lot of practical solutions if we pay attention.
The good part about climate change is we know the solution. We're at least not scratching our heads trying to figure out what do we do. We know what to do. We just have to do it. It's easier said than done, of course, you know, because we have to get a lot of people on board to make this happen, but it's possible. We can do it.